Hey there guys, today I'm going to go over what constructors are. Now to start that off, you're going to need to have the constructors and points starter from the website. Okay, now constructors basically are the way that they're the special methods that build up the object. Now you might have actually seen these in the first projects we've done, but not known it because we had commenting there and it just said add this here, so on and so forth, and everything was done for you. But we've actually been using them in some cases and you just haven't seen it yet. So here's what they actually are. Now, we have a bunch of commenting. I'm in the cat class here, and we have a bunch of commenting in here. And this is going to guide how we create our constructors and what our constructors are going to look like. Now, as this first point points out here, a constructor starts with the word public. Okay, so we're going to create some space for ourselves here. Public. Okay, so we start with that. It has no return type. Okay, so it's like this is like a fancy method signature, okay, for a constructor. Sorry, I shouldn't say it's a fancy one for a constructor. I should say a constructor is like a fancy method. Okay, and the method signature, or the signature that we create for a constructor, will have no return type. So we don't want to put void, we don't want to put int, we don't want to put boolean. Okay, we're actually going to go just into creating the name of our constructor. Now, the name of the constructor is very important. It has to be something very specific. And that specific thing that it has to be is the same name as the class. So in this case, our class is called public class cat. So we're going to call it public cat. Okay, and that's our constructor. Now, it says has the same name as the class, in this case cat, we just covered that. And then it has round brackets that may or may not have parameters inside of them. Okay, so it looks really similar if we look down here, like to this method. Okay, private void check food. Okay, but this is a method signature. This is a constructor signature. Okay, again, word public, no return type, name of the class, and then round brackets to follow. Now, of course, we can have a body just like we can with a method. Okay, we're going to make a body for this particular constructor. And this body is going to set our default to be, we're just going to set the default picture of our cat. So our default is going to just go set image to pixel cat1.gif. Okay, so we've got pixel cat1.gif. Now, what we just created here is actually called a default constructor. Because it had no round brackets, okay, or nothing inside the round brackets, my apologies, we call it the default constructor because whenever somebody says, well, as you're going to see, new cat with round brackets, it will call this default constructor, okay? Now, I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to just put that this is default constructor. And we'll press compile. Okay, now to show you how this is kind of working, we're going to go over to the back to the world here, and we're going to just shift and click, and you'll notice that we now have the cat showing up as just pixel cat1.gif. Okay, and just to show you guys, if I right click on cat, set image, pixel cat1.gif, that is what it's setting it to by default. Great. So now, how do I actually call this constructor? What's crazy is you guys have been calling constructors already and you don't even know it. We're going to head over to Kitty World to do this. And you'll notice that there's more commenting guiding us here. Okay, and let's see here. We're going to look in here and I'm just looking to see. We have something about add a cat to the world in the center. Make sure to tell the cat whether it should show up as image 1, 2, or 3. We can't do that yet because we haven't created that constructor. So we're going to add another little comment in here. Okay, and this little comment here, okay, is going to be add a default cat in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, I should capitalize cat so we know. Okay, and I'm going to say add object. I'm going to say new cat. So realistically, you guys have been doing this the entire time. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to add it, like I said, bottom right hand corner of the world. So let's do, if it says 400, 400, let's add it at 300, 300. Compile. And there we go. We've got a default cat added at the bottom of the world. So again, we've got a default cat, okay, constructor that sets the image of our cat to be pixelcat1.gif. We call that constructor from Kitty World when we want to add a default cat. Okay, so when we want to add specifically pixelcat1 and we're just happy with the default that comes up with us, we're just going to say new cat. Okay, that's all we're going to do. This is no different than what you've been doing so far, okay, when creating a new object. Okay, and that's what actually happens. When you create a new object, okay, you're actually calling the constructor. You just didn't know that yet. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to go on to talk about how to create more complex constructors as it outlines up here in the next video.